Hello students, welcome to today's class. Today we start our class with a small experiment. Let us see the experiment. So this is a bucket. I have taken some water in this bucket and this is a ball. I will push this ball into water. Then you observe what happened. So I take this ball into water. I push this ball into water. Then I leave the ball. Then you see what happened. So you can see that this ball come upward. Once I see, I push this ball into water and I leave this force. Then you can see this ball comes up. So in that experiment you can see that I pushed the ball into the water. Then and when I left the force, the ball comes upward. Why the ball comes upward? That is because of upthrust or buoyant force. Another name of upthrust is buoyant force. So here that ball comes upward due to the upthrust exerted by water. When a substance is submerged in a fluid, the fluid is exerting an upward force on the body. The upward force exerted by the fluid on an object which is submerged in it, that is called the upthrust or buoyant force. So buoyant force means when a body is submerged in a fluid, the fluid exerts an upward force on the body. That is called the buoyant force or upthrust. So this is a container, and in this container I have taken some water. Then suppose that I put a body. So this is a body, and the weight of the body is acting vertically downward through the center of gravity. Weight of the body is acting vertically downward through its center of gravity, and the upthrust or buoyant force is acting vertically upward. Buoyant force is acting vertically upward. Weight of the body is acting vertically downward, and buoyant force is acting vertically upward. And if the buoyant force is equal to or more than the weight of the body, in that case the body floats. And if the weight of the body is more than the buoyant force, if the weight of the body is more than the buoyant force, in that case the body sinks. If the weight of the body is more than the buoyant force. So these are the two cases. A body floats if buoyant force is equal to or more than the weight of the body, and if the weight of the body is more than the buoyant force, in that case the body sinks. So on what factors the buoyant force depend? The buoyant force depend on volume of the body, density of the liquid, and acceleration due to gravity. Buoyant force is directly proportional to these three: volume of the body, density of the fluid, and acceleration due to gravity. So greater the volume, greater is the upthrust acting on the body, and greater the density of the liquid, greater is the buoyant force acting on the body, and the same way acceleration due to gravity also. So first we see that greater the volume, greater is the buoyant force acting on the body. Suppose that we take a feather and a pebble. Pebble means small stone. We take a feather and a small stone of equal mass and drop it from the same height. So you can see that the pebble will reach on the ground first. and later only the feather will reach. The reason is that volume of the feather is more than the volume of a small stone. So more buoyant force is exerted by air on the feather. So feather will reach later and the stone will reach on the ground first. Because less buoyant force is acting on the small stone because its volume is less. And more buoyant force exerted by air is acting on the feather because its volume is more. Now another factor is density of the liquid. So greater the density of the liquid, greater is the buoyant force acting on the body. So let us see a small experiment. Here you can see two identical glasses. Then in both the glasses I have taken water. So this is an egg. I put this egg into water, then you see what happened. So this egg, you can see this egg is fully submerged. This egg is fully submerged into water. Now in this one I put some salt. I put some common salt. I put some common salt into this water. Then I take this egg and put this egg into this salt water. Now you see this egg is not completely submerged. You can see a certain portion of the egg is above the water surface. Why some portion of the egg is seen above the water surface? Because this salt water exerts more upthrust than ordinary water. So ordinary water exerts less upthrust. In this case, the weight of the, when it is put in ordinary water, the weight of the egg is more than the upthrust exerted by water. That is why this egg submerges into water. But here you can see certain volume is seen above the surface of the water. Because here in this case the egg is floating. In this case egg is floating. Egg is floating on the surface of water. With a certain portion of the egg is seen above the surface of water. And here you can see it is floating. It is floating. Yes, you can see this egg is seen from above the bottom of the glass. Means in this case the egg is floating because the buoyant force is more than the weight of the egg. But in the other case, when I put this one in this one, you can see that it submerges. It submerges. You can see that the egg is touching at the bottom of the glass. Egg is touching at the bottom of the glass because the weight of the egg is more than the weight of the egg is more than the buoyant force. That is why this egg is submerged into the water. But when the same egg, when it is put in salt water, you can see it is not submerged. It floats. It floats with a certain volume above. Here, what is the reason? Because the weight of the egg is less than the buoyant force. So this experiment shows that more is the density of the liquid, more is the buoyant force. So upthrust is the buoyant force which is acting on a body in upward direction. So what is the reason for upthrust? What is the reason for upthrust? When we take a body and if a body is submerged in a liquid, so for example in this one you can see a container, and in container I have kept a cylindrical vessel PQRS. So it is a cylindrical vessel with a uniform area of cross section. The pressure which is acting on this upper surface PQ, that is taken as P1, and the pressure which is acting on the lower surface S2, that is taken as a P2. So you know, pressure increases with increase in depth. The pressure increases with the increase in depth. So pressure which is acting on the lower surface SR, that is more than the pressure which is acting on the upper surface. The pressure which is acting on the lower surface is more than the pressure which is acting on the upper surface, because the pressure increases with increase in depth. As a force is the product of force and area cross section. Force is the product of pressure and area cross section. The force which is acting on the lower surface, the force which is acting on the lower surface is more than the force which is acting on the upper surface. So this difference of these two forces causes upthrust. So this is the reason for upthrust. Now we are going to derive a mathematical expression. We are going to derive a mathematical expression to find the upthrust or buoyant force. So here you can see a container, and in container I have kept a cylindrical vessel with a uniform area cross section. The cylindrical vessel is named as PQRS, and the distance, the depth between free surface and the upper surface PQ, that is taken as H1. H1 is the depth of the free surface, depth of the upper surface of the cylindrical vessel from the free surface. So the pressure which acts on the upper surface PQ, that is taken as P1. Then we use the formula to find the liquid pressure. P is the formula is H rho G. H rho G. The liquid pressure is equal to H rho G. So in the case of this upper surface, the depth is H1. So we get P1 as H1 rho G. P1 is equal to H1 rho G. And the force which acts on the upper surface, that is taken as F1. So F1 is equal to P1 into area cross section. Then we substitute the value, then we get H1 rho G into A. Then the force which acts on the lower surface SR, that is taken as P2. Then P2 is equal to the depth of the lower surface from the free surface, that is H2. H2 is the depth from the free surface to the lower surface. So again using the formula P is equal to H rho G, then P2 we get it as H2 rho G. Then the force which acts on the lower surface, that is taken as F2. So F2 is equal to P2 into area cross section. So P2 we substitute this value H2 rho G into A. And here F2 is more than F1 because pressure increases with the increase in depth. Since P2 is more than P1 and so F2 is more than F1. This difference of this force causes the buoyant force. So buoyant force is equal to F2 minus F1. Then we substitute the value. F2 is equal to H2 rho G into A. And F1 is H1 rho G into A. Then this one we take the common outside. So then we get a rho G A into H2 minus H1. So H2 minus H1, that is the height of the cylinder. H2 minus H1 is the height of the cylinder. Then we get a rho G into A into height. So area cross section into height is called volume. Area cross section into height is a volume. So in the place of area cross section into height we write a volume. So we get this formula V rho G. This is a formula to find the buoyant force. Buoyant force is equal to V rho G. V is the volume of the body, rho is the density of the liquid, and G is the acceleration due to gravity. So this is the mathematical expression to find the buoyant force. So upthrust exerted by a liquid depends on three factors: volume of the body, density of the liquid, and acceleration due to gravity. So buoyant force is directly proportional to volume of the body. Buoyant force is directly proportional to density of the liquid, and buoyant force is directly proportional to acceleration due to gravity. So we calculate buoyant force or upthrust by the formula V rho G. V is the volume of the body, rho is the density of the liquid, and G is the acceleration due to gravity. The unit of buoyant force is same as the unit of force. So SI unit of buoyant force is Newton, and CGS unit of buoyant force is the dyne. Now we see Archimedes principle. So Archimedes was a famous scientist. So he made a theorem. So Archimedes principle states that when a body is submerged partially or completely in a liquid, the liquid exerts an upthrust or buoyant force which is equal to the weight of the liquid displaced by the body. Archimedes principle states that when a body is submerged partially or completely in a liquid, liquid exerts an upthrust or buoyant force on the body which is equal to the weight of the liquid displaced by the body. Let us see an experimental verification of Archimedes principle. For the verification of Archimedes principle, we need a spring balance, a Eureka can, and a measuring cylinder. These things are needed. Suppose first of all we are finding the weight of a body in air with the help of a spring balance. Suppose that this is a body. This is a body, and this weight of this body is found in air. The weight of a body in air is called its true weight. Weight of a body in air is called its true weight. Suppose that this body, this spherical object, when it is weighed in air, suppose the reading is 300 gram. The weight of the body, suppose that in air is 300 gram. That is its true weight. Now the next step, we take a Eureka can. Take a Eureka can. So Eureka can is a specially designed can provided with a spout. So this opening, this is called a spout. It is called a spout. This is a Eureka can. So what is the true weight of this object? That is 300 gram. Now we put water in the Eureka can up to the spout. Up to the spout, this Eureka can. Its name is Eureka can. This is a spring balance. It is a spring balance. And this one's name is Eureka can. The water is filled in the Eureka can up to the spout. Means if we put one more drop of water, that water will come out. That water will come out through the spout. That much water is filled. Then under the spout, a measuring cylinder is kept. A measuring cylinder is kept under the spout. Now this measuring cylinder is empty. Now this measuring cylinder is empty. Now this same solid we weigh it in water. The same solid is weighed in water. The same solid is weighed in water. And this time the reading is 200 gram. The same solid is weighed in water. This it is called apparent weight. Apparent weight of the body in water is 200 gram. When this solid is weighed in water, then what will happen? Some amount of water comes out through the Eureka can. When the solid is taken into the water, then some amount of water comes out. that water which comes out through the spout that is collected in the measuring cylinder. Now the volume of water collected in the measuring cylinder is 100 ml. 100 ml. So what is the true weight? That is the weight in air is 300 gram. Apparent weight in water is 200 gram. So what is the upthrust acting? The upthrust acting is 300 minus 200 gram. Upthrust which is acting, that is equal to 300 minus 200, which is equal to 100 gram. And how much is the volume of water collected? Volume of water collected is 100 ml or 100 centimeter cube. Volume of water collected in the measuring cylinder is 100 centimeter cube. And density of water is 1 gram per centimeter cube. And you know mass is equal to volume into density. So mass of water collected in the measuring cylinder, that is equal to 100 centimeter cube into 1 gram per centimeter cube. That is also 100 gram. So this is also 100 gram, and the weight of water collected is also 100 gram. Both are equal. So this is Archimedes principle. So Archimedes principle states that when a body is submerged partially or completely in a liquid, the liquid exerts an upthrust or buoyant force which is equal to weight of the liquid displaced by the body. So in this case you can see in this experiment you can see the true weight of the body is 300 gram and apparent weight is 200 gram. So upthrust exerted is 300 minus 200, which is equal to 100 gram. So that is upthrust, and the weight of the water collected, that is also 100 gram. Both are equal. So this is Archimedes principle. The Archimedes principle states that when a body is submerged partially or completely in a liquid, the liquid exerts an upthrust on the body which is equal to the weight of the liquid displaced by the body. So we have seen when a body sinks and floats, if the weight of the body is more than the buoyant force, in that case body sinks, and if the weight of the body is less than or equal to buoyant force, in that case the body floats. And in terms of density also we can say when a body will float or sink. If the density of the body is more than the density of the liquid, in that case the body sinks. And if the density or equal to the density of the liquid, in that case the body floats. So today we have discussed about upthrust. Another name of upthrust is buoyant force. Then on what factors upthrust or buoyant force depend, and we have seen the formula to find buoyant force, which is V rho G. And we have also seen the derivation to find buoyant force. And then we have seen Archimedes principle and experimental verification of Archimedes principle. So in the next class we will discuss another topic.